developers are trying to claim that Steam is a monopoly. And I don't think they know what that means. I don't think they know what the word monopoly means. So, and I think that a lot of this comes from not only envy, but a lot of this also comes from basically them thinking that they have to deal with Steam, even though they don't want to secretly, for whatever reason that may be. They rather deal with, like, I don't know, Epic Games or something like that. But this is where they're at. So we're going to talk about this, and we're going to see what's going on with this supposed monopoly of Steam. We are, T-Jap says we're $22.20 away from tier 1. Thank you, T-Jap, you legend. Appreciate that. Also, unironically, I just realized something. Unironically, by them saying that 72% say Steam is a monopoly, they're basically saying that the other 28% think that every other like option is complete trash. They're trashing on GOG. They're trashing on itch.io. They're trashing on Epic Games. They're trashing on Origin. They're trashing on fucking Ubisoft Plus Play, whatever the fuck it's called. They're trashing all of it, and I don't even think they mean to, but they're doing it. Our cuz with a 5 membership bank.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Shout out to our cuz. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that, man. 5 memberships. I think that gets us finally past tier 1. Thank you guys so much. Legendary support. On our way to tier 2 right now. All right, here we go, boys. Let's talk about it. All right, guys. So today's video, we're going to be talking about Steam. We're going to be talking about whether or not Steam is a monopoly. Now, the reason why we're saying this is because, well, PC Gamer put out an article talking about a recent research that was done with game developers where 72% of them think that Steam has a monopoly on PC games. And even with some big caveats, it makes me wonder what the other 28% are thinking. Now, just from the definition of the word, Steam is not a monopoly, okay? I want to make that as clear as possible. Steam is not a monopoly by the definition of the word, because to be a monopoly, there can't be anyone else, right? There literally can't be anyone else. And there is competition out there that is trying to, compete against Steam. But unfortunately, some of them are just so damn lazy about it that they can't compete that much. Epic Games is probably the prime example of that. Epic Games literally is doing everything possible not to give you the features that Steam has and doing everything possible to not properly compete with Steam. So they get felted, right? Then you have GOG. Then you have itch.io. You have a lot of options out there. You have Origin. You have Ubisoft Play. All these launchers that you could buy video games from. Battle.net, right? You have a lot of different launchers to buy video games from, but not many come with the social features that Steam has, which is why Steam continues to be so far ahead. So let's read what's going on here and see what people have to say about this. Most of the developers surveyed were C-suite level developers. For well over a decade, Steam has been on the first port of call for anyone who wants to buy or sell a video game on PC. While there are alternatives like GOG, the Epic Store, and hey, what kind of word is that? That's crazy. The Xbox PC Game Store, Steam's enormous user base and frankly superior user experience makes it the de facto marketplace where PC gamers make their purchases and developers jostle for their attention. But does Steam dominance of the PC gaming market constitute a monopoly? Well, according to a new white paper, most game developers think so. Well, unfortunately, it seems like most game developers are wrong. Even though they may not want to admit that, we all know they don't like to do that. I think it's safe to say that they're all wrong. Titled The State of PC Game Distribution via Games Industry, the paper concludes that 72% of the games developers believe the platform has a monopoly on the PC games market. The white paper was published by the digital distribution platform Rocky. If you're wondering who the heck is Rocky, then it's a new distribution platform that aims to connect publishers with various digital storefronts around the globe. The white paper was based on an independent study conducted by Atomic Research, which surveyed 306 executives in the UK and the US between May 18th and May 22nd of this year. Now, again, the funny thing is that they can say all they want that Steam has a monopoly, but the truth is that a lot of these developers need Steam. Nobody's stopping you from releasing your game exclusively on Epic Games. Nobody's stopping you from releasing your game on GOG exclusively. The reason why you are choosing to release your game on Steam is because you know that's the place where the majority of the people are going to buy the game who are PC players. You know that. As much as you may want to, deny it and fight it or whatever, you know for a fact that Steam is the place to be, right? So of those surveyed, 77% were from companies with more than 50 employees, while 3/4 were C-suite level senior managers. This does seem a bit like asking a group of foxes, do you think hen houses should be easier to get into? If anything, the fact that less than 3/4 of respondents agreed that Steam has a monopoly is surprising and not expected to be much higher. Then he says that one of those companies surveyed, the majority said that Steam accounted for more than 75% of their revenue, which is not surprising. Whatever happened to Steam numbers don't matter, by the way. Whatever happened to Steam numbers don't matter, right? Like the cope that these people have when certain games fail on Steam, the number one thing they say all the time is that Steam numbers don't matter. But now we're finding out that some of these developers are getting 75% plus of their revenue from Steam. Come on, man. It's very clear that the numbers do matter. Steam accounted for 75% of their revenue, which is not surprising, but does provide a clearer idea of just how reliant many studios are on Valve's platform. More intriguing, however, are the figures regarding Steam's competition. It says 48% of respondents said they had distributed at least one game to either Epic Store or Xbox PC Game Store, while only 10% have used GOG and less than 8% have used itch.io. Given the type of studios that contributed to the survey, that latter figure is not enormously surprising. Rocky acknowledges this caveat, stating that its survey is dominated by larger companies with diverse portfolios. The greatest consensus the studio found regarded the future shape of gaming distribution, with 80% of respondents saying they expect to use alternative distribution channels alongside Steam in the next 5 years. This includes the aforementioned storefronts as well as marketplaces like GTA and Kingwin, and bundle specialists like Fanatico and Humble Bundle. So again, guys, this is one of those situations that Steam remains on top by doing absolutely nothing. Okay. It's so funny because they literally are not trying to compete with anybody. Steam is not trying to compete with anybody. Everybody's trying to compete with Steam. Even Amazon tried to compete with Steam. The recent layoffs that they experienced was due to the fact that they thought that by buying Twitch and doing certain content, that would allow them to compete with Steam while adding zero of the social features that Steam has and incentivizing people to utilize their platform for any kind of video game related stuff. It's crazy to me that they even thought that would even happen. But again, we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar corporation, so they're not exactly, short for change. They have all the money in the world to pull from and try to challenge another bigger platform that happens to be private. It says the greatest. Rocky CEO and co-founder Vadim Adrev said the company created this report to highlight the trends that matter, though I rather think attention might have something to do with it. In which case, well played. If Steam does have a monopoly, and let's face it, it probably does, it's largely because nobody has come up with a rival that does what it does anywhere near as well, as explained by Robin Valentine when he reviewed PC Gaming's variants launches last year. And that's really what it is. That's really what it is, man. Nobody could do what Steam does better. At least not now, anyway. Maybe in the future. You never know. But as of right now, nobody comes even close, unfortunately. And that's what they need. They don't need close. They need to blow Steam out of the park. That's really what it is. So you guys let me know in the comments down below of this video. What do you think about this entire situation? Do you believe that Steam is a, I don't know, like monopoly somehow, some way? And keep in mind, guys, the definition of monopoly when leaving your answers. But again, me personally, I don't believe they're a monopoly. I think, quite frankly, that Steam has a long legacy behind it that has rewarded them the ability to be the go-to platform for PC gaming. And all these other companies and studios are trying to guilt trip you into utilizing their platform over Steam. But the truth is that people are going to use the platform they want. And the funny thing is, a lot of the haters that are against Steam are still utilizing Steam and getting the, getting everything they want from it anyway, instead of using another platform. So you guys let me know again in the comments down below. What do you think about all this? Do you think Steam is a monopoly after all? Or do you disagree with the entire sentiment? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, consider hitting that like and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next one.